Life by Design is a show teaching designpreneurs how to clarify their brand vision and turn it into reality without losing themselves along the way. We'll explore the roadmap to a strong brand launch, plus go deep with industry insiders, subject experts, and examine the journeys of favorite fashion designers so you can apply the learnings to grow your brand while designing a life you love. The conversation I had today with Carla Nelson of the Black Fashion World Foundation was a vivid reminder of the fact that this entrepreneurial journey is not without its bumps in the road. And many times we expect the challenges to just be within the business that we're building, right? It's par for the course. You're building something great and it's going to require you to jump over some hurdles, right? And to level up again and again. But what do you do when those challenges come from a place that's closer to home? How do you keep going? What makes the journey, the entrepreneurial journey, still meaningful and necessary? Today, we're touching upon what it looks like when you hit that place where you do have to slow down, and what it looks like, and what you need to do to continue to move forward in service to those that our businesses are built to serve. What makes it worth it? When should you ask for help? When should you slow down? If you know what it feels like when life starts lifing, stay tuned. We're about to dive in. I'm excited to dive into this episode, but before we go all the way in, I want to be sure you've heard about the label launch blueprint. Staying stuck in DIY mode has caused too many talented designers to burn out. So after decades of experience in the fashion industry, I've taken all of my brand, design, sample development, marketing, and production expertise and put together an easy to follow step-by-step roadmap so you can take the guesswork out of your launch strategy. No more going around in circles, wondering what to do when and how to do it, and not having support along the way. I want you to give yourself the gift of clarity. Head over to cmdesignagency.com/label launch blueprint for more info, and I cannot wait to connect with you. Now let's get back to it. Welcome, 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 Carla, to the Life by Design show. I'm so excited to see your face. It's been a while.
Well, oh my gosh.
Right? So how has your year been going so far?
You know, this is recovery year for me. Last year was a really, last year and a half was a really rough year. My mother had breast cancer.
Oh, Carla.
She was stage 3.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
So when I spoke to you last, literally, was the last time I spoke to you, you were visiting your mom, and she was a dear. I remember her having me laughing.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, Carla. And
well,
who
at
knew?
that time, she had not been diagnosed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that was she had not been diagnosed. We got the diagnosis for Christmas.
Oh gosh, okay.
So this is recovery year.
Okay, recovery is good.
Listen, I'm very thankful. I could not have had her. So yeah, there was a point where I went through complete burnout.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you know, every setback is a setup. As I heard the ministry say recently, it's a setup for a step up.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So I'm taking my time.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I know it never feels like it in the moment, but I do believe that as well. You know, it doesn't feel good, but listen, I'll be praying for you and your precious mom. Because I know that's a lot to
And I'll
take
tell her
in.
you asked about her. She'll be tickled.
Absolutely. And just, the idea of women, we have to, in this day and age, just keep it going, keep that smile on our face, right? Keep the work pumping, keep the family intact, and at all cylinders at all times, no matter what's going on. And when you're an entrepreneur like you are, like I am, it looks easier than it is.
So that's how the burnout came about.
Yeah. So how do you, at these times, this is called the Life by Design show for a reason. The premise is to not just let life happen, but to continually adjust and reset and pay attention to all of who you are so that you can continue to be all you are for everybody that depends on you as a woman, right? Or as a man even. So how did you come back to center after dealing with something so crushing as a daughter?
I think the burnout was it.
So you just hit that wall.
The burnout was 2 weeks of I could do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was the wake-up call of you can't, I'm always telling people you can't pour from an empty cup. I'm always telling people that and sharing that with them. But that was the moment of, no, you got to stop and recenter yourself. And that was the first step. So, it was pray, do what you enjoy. And so when you face something like that, you realize what's important. And family is first.
Oh, yes, family is first.
And then you think, I kicked it in high gear. We're praying at night. When I ain't having moments of being down. You can't.
You can't. You can't.
You got to push this person through.
Ooh. I mean, you're reminding me of a really tough season in my life when my youngest son had that surgery at 4 months old. That didn't go well, and everybody looked at me back then, and they couldn't understand why I kept going. But did I have a choice? Do you have a choice right now? Right? That is
they're dependent on you.
Yeah. To be who you are and to continue. So I feel for you. I will continue to keep you in my thoughts and keep your mom, both of you and your whole family in my prayers. Thank you for sharing so openly and talking about some things that are reality in life. This entrepreneurship thing looks all shiny and pretty all the time. But we are real people behind the scenes dealing with all aspects of life. So, listen, I hear you, and yeah, I'll be, like I said, keeping you close to my heart as we go through the next several months.
She's doing well.
Okay, good report. Well, that's a blessing.
That's what happens. The person heals, and then the caregiver has to heal. So,
you just said a mouthful. Yes. Yes. And in the midst of all of this, you still have your foundation, right? Yep. But before we dive into the foundation, if we could just shift gears a bit, I would love for you to share because I know you have a love and a passion for the fashion industry, right? So what first inspired that passion in you for the industry and for fashion as a whole?
My mother and my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As a kid, I wanted to be a model.
Oh,
my
okay.
grandmother instilled in my mother and myself about presentation. People treat you how they see you. And my mother actually wanted to be a fashion designer.
Ooh, really?
But she didn't get to pursue that dream.
Okay.
So I, years ago as a teenager, went to her one time and asked her if I could go to Barbizon to be a model.
Ooh, Barbizon. Yes. Hello, Barbizon. I know it well. That's what we came up on. We've been around the block a few more times than many. But that's all good. So tell me a little bit more about that. How did that then bring you closer to where you wanted to be or what you wanted to do in the fashion industry?
Yeah. So And I went to her with that question. That was the time we were having financial challenges. So she had to say no. So I buried that dream. And I figured out another way to leave home. Education.
Okay.
Student loans to leave.
Yes.
But that was a dream that was buried until I moved here to New York. Went to a series of events about fashion. Every weekend, the room would fill up more and more. And I realized that, man, there are people who, are similar situations. One young lady during the event said to me, she said, Carla, I got everything I wanted here for free. She said, I've been going to lots of events, what was supposed to be reputable people, and not getting the information I needed.
Really?
Well, that was the light bulb moment. Then, what really kicked it up was meeting a gentleman here in New York. He and his friend, some years ago, opened the first, to my knowledge, ever Black-owned department store on the level of Saks and Macy's in Detroit, Michigan.
Ooh, okay.
$1.5 million investment. Oh my gosh, they had their private label cosmetics. You could go in and get your furs. They would have jazz.
Oh my goodness.
On Friday night. But within 1 year, it was
Ooh. Ooh.
And at that moment, I said, the ideas I had in my head, because back to the event, I told them, I have strong organizational skills. I can help you produce the event next year, but they never had.
Oh, okay.
So that was put aside. But after speaking with him sharing his story with me, and I started sharing what I was thinking, he said, "You need to do this." So literally, he picked up the phone and started calling people. And I'm glad he did not push me. It was like, I gotta do this now.
Okay. So, what is the core mission of Black Fashion World Foundation?
So the mission is to empower Black fashionpreneurs. I call them fashionpreneurs through educational, networking, and opportunity events. The educational events empower them with the information, wisdom, knowledge, understanding what they need to go forward. Networking events offer them opportunities to build their networks. And then opportunity events allow them the opportunity, or in some cases, veterans to pass on opportunities. It allows them to be able to present, whether it's careers or business opportunities, to these individuals to continue to expand. And what area do you feel is most needed? What do they come to you hoping for the most? How to start.
How to start. Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Something I'm passionate
There's a
about.
lot of people. They're spending a lot of money to get started. I have a program I'm working on now. It's called Proof of Concept. And we will be talking more because they don't know. You don't know what you haven't been taught, what you haven't been exposed to.
Sure.
So that is the first step they need to take, is that proof of concept. One of the first programs we launched right before COVID, of course, was with honoring then President and CEO Sean John Jeff Tweedy. And he talked about how they started Sean John with a t-shirt and a hat. And how they would go out and test. So, that is one thing they need to know how to start. They need that information. And then the business acumen. They might not necessarily ask for that, but it's very needed.
Oh,
and so,
yes.
A lot of the conversations that I host, which I will be back in the fall hosting, we talk about that. We talk about things about presentation. When you know better, you do better. And then there's always funding.
Funding. Oh, sure. Sure. Especially, of course, in our community, a lot of what we build is from the bottom up, scrappy and determined, and just with this vision, like you, right? Like you with the foundation from the start. There are no handouts. You just have to so believe in your vision that you're willing to go through that, tough journey of an entrepreneur, because it's not for the faint of heart. And that's the thing about social media these days. It's like almost a trend now to be an entrepreneur.
Show and tell.
Mm-hmm. But the doing, the doing is much different than the showing, right? And the consistency is what I think is really helpful for designers when they get serious about this brand that they're launching, because it's doable, but it's going to require that passion and that vision for something bigger. Okay,
it's not all candy, but it's worth it.
But it is worth it, isn't it? I mean, for those who have been in entrepreneurship for, I would say, over 5 years, maybe even up to 10 years, and they consider the alternative, I don't know one person. I'm sure they're out there, but I don't know one person personally who has been an entrepreneur that regrets that journey, that regrets going after their dreams, after that passion that they had for something of their own. No matter how it turns out or how you have to pivot, some people do have to pivot. I mean, there are so many skills that you learn just going through the ins and outs of management, right? Managing a brand or managing any kind of business.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a part of it. Adapting and knowing how to pivot. Matter of fact, as I think about that, I would love to. They need to put a class together on how people had to pivot, put it in a book, and so being able to have conversations about how did you pivot, what worked, what didn't work, especially when the industry changed and people were more focused on casual attire.
But can resilience be taught? Or does someone have to naturally have that kind of grit where they are determined enough to want to find their pivot?
That's a good question. I think if it's a calling for you and that why is deeply embedded in you, you don't have a choice but to be resilient.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just innate. It's just a part of who you are. You have to keep going.
Absolutely.
Now, on the flip side of that, and this is when the rubber meets the road. As I was thinking earlier, some people say when you're dating, I'll use this scenario, when you're dating somebody, you don't think, don't marry them until you hit some rough patches together and you see how you can get through it. That's where the rubber meets the road. So when you're in your business, you hit those rough patches, that's where the rubber meets the road, and you decide, okay, am I going to hang in this and keep going? Is this what I'm supposed to do or not? That test is the trial by fire.
Yeah, yeah. But those that go on that journey, I think they're better for it. Once again, I feel like there's so much value in trusting that side of yourself, giving yourself permission to be different than others. Is I think it's special, and it should be embraced way more. There should be many more entrepreneurs in our community, but again, it's not exactly easy because it's a bit more daunting to see the path forward from the beginning. I think that a lot of people just stuff their dreams down and they don't even say out loud to themselves, far more put it out into the world. They don't talk about this thing that really is burning inside of them. They're just gonna bury it. I was reading something, or I talked about it on another episode. Where did I hear it? I heard somebody say, who was it? Oh, I can't remember right now. But the gist of it was that there are more, it was probably Steve Harvey, when he was talking about how The graveyard is full of
graveyard.
dreams.
I can tell you exactly who said
Okay,
it.
you know the quote? Tell me.
Yes. Dr. Miles Monroe, who's deceased now, he was ministering one day and he said the richest place in the world is the graveyard.
Yes.
Because there's more people buried there with their dreams that took them with them and gave birth to them. I'm paraphrasing the statement, but the first part is exactly. It's the richest. I think he did the wealthiest place because they took those dreams with them.
Oftentimes it's because they don't have somebody, not even one person, to believe in them enough to help them see it forward, or they don't have a strategy or the support system even outside of their initial circle. But that's why organizations like yours are so needed. So, yes. So I would love for you to share a bit about each of your programs. Because I know you have several programs that you're running in the foundation that help up and coming entrepreneurs. So, yeah, tell me about them.
Yeah. So the first program is actually funded by our Gleaning from the Masses program, which is the program that I mentioned earlier. We launched honored then President and CEO Jeff Tweedy of Shanjan. We honored him as a fashion master because with that program, this is a chance for an everyday person to come in and glean and sit at their feet for one night and obtain wisdom from them. You're not going to get that every day. So we brought him in to honor him as the master he is that built that brand. And through that, we were able to obtain funding to provide some COVID relief. We were able to give out $7,000 to some entrepreneurs to help them navigate COVID. Oh, wow. That's through our small business relief fund. We do have a recovery fund that we'll be working on right now. Like I said, I'm in recovery, so that will be. I have another project that I can't talk about right now.
Okay.
That can really fund that. More come on that later. Okay. But the focus on that is really helping individuals who started their business and the business is fledgling or failing go in and understand what is taking place with your business. Let's establish some best practices. We talked about the strategy. Let's find out what's going on, find the root cause of the failure, bring in some professionals to help you understand, create a strategy, create those best practices, and revitalize your business. And that we save the business, we save the workers, we save the community. Oh, yes. The other program that we have is our scholarship program. But the scholarship program, it is really a diverse program because the age range goes up to 44. Okay. Which is not common. We modeled it after Jay-Z's program. So basically, just for individuals that have experienced some rough roads in their life, but they have potential. They might have been incarcerated, but they want to be in fashion. They have potential. They might have experienced teenage pregnancy. They might have been homeless, but they have, whatever they might have experienced, they've turned their life around. They have individuals who can document and support the fact that this person has made a 360-degree turnaround. They're working towards this to be a good person fit for this program. The first scholarships that we started out with was the stylist and the modeling. We gave away a modeling scholarship, Models in the Making. Andrea Kirchner sponsored that. We gave away a scholarship for FIT for the stylist program.
That's
we have a stylist network.
Okay.
Thank God.
Hello.
We have a stylist network, a network of individuals who, when this person finishes, they will mentor this person for at least one session to help them know what the real world is like. Okay. That way, they have the education and then they have access to gleaning from people with the wisdom. Those are the programs that we have going right now. What we launched during COVID was Black Fashion Career Day, which I'm actually turning that into Black Fashion Career and Industry Week. Yeah, they're working on holding the first one this year. So that is in works, working on in person. So it will be a place where people can come and be educated on the industry as well as receive information. It will work both ways. So high school students can come in and learn about the colleges that they attend, And then the college students will come in and learn about job opportunities. What we do is we sit down and have career talks with different individuals about the role, whether it's a designer. And interestingly, we explore roles that they don't know anything about, like fashion law. Who knew you could be a fashion law attorney? So we talk with individuals. We had the young lady from California come in, Mannequin Madness, Judy Henderson, come in and talk about working with mannequin. She's the only black-owned company managing mannequins like that. Okay. So those are the programs that we have going in right now. And COVID was the career day came up with a new one. So I have 17 more to develop.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of programs. Oh my goodness. But when is that one you were just talking about later this year? Yeah.
That is in October.
October?
Okay. Week in October. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the date we're planning for.
Maybe we can link that information. If you share that with me, I'll put it in the show notes so people can tap in.
Once I get it all put together,
okay,
be sure to give it to you.
Okay. Okay. So if it's not in the show notes, we'll get it to everybody at some point.
Because we're planning for it to be a free event.
Okay, fantastic. So it is it's really refreshing to see that more organizations these days than ever, like yours, that are taking it upon themselves to build that bridge between aspiring entrepreneurs in many areas and helping them to fulfill their dream of running that business on their own. But organizations and that focus on serving our community, serving BIPOC individuals, and specifically Black entrepreneurs, up and coming entrepreneurs, have hit a major roadblock very recently. On June 3rd, a Florida appeals court suspended the Fearless Fund's right to issue grants. Right, the Fearless Fund is that organization that very proudly presents Black women business owners with $20,000 to move forward with their ventures. Right, but the federal appeals court claimed that they were in violation of a Civil Rights Act from 1866. 1866. So they dredged that up from the pits to really thwart not just Fearless Fund's efforts, but that's just a seed they're trying to plant so that they can block so much help that is available to our community and other minority groups as well. So how does that, even that initial decision, impact your organization as well as others like Black Fashion World Foundation?
That's an excellent question. I have been sickened by that, to say the least. I've been watching it, and I realize I like law, I like history, and it's something we all have to watch. What I would say is, because I started researching, I need to dig more into it. But the difference between the organization I created and the organization Fearless Fund is that, to my knowledge, the Fearless Fund is a private fund. BFW Foundation, Black Fashion World Foundation, is a 501c3 approved by the government.
Okay.
So it all deals with the legal structure. Now, because we were approved as a charitable foundation under the IRS, the government has already approved what we do. So since that, it's the structure. Now, I'm not a lawyer. As a matter of fact, I really want to reach out to Ariana. I want to give her a minute. She'll be like, who are you? The sister that's with her. She could set up a foundation or something like that under the IRS guidelines that she can continue to do what she wants to do.
Okay. Ooh, I hope it is that simple. I really hope that that is the loophole that they need.
Listen, and the multiple counsels is safety.
Uh-huh.
But we still have to watch.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes we miss out because my people perish for lack of knowledge. Look, the way, I won't even call his name, the way 45 doesn't pay taxes is because of the loops.
Well, yeah, all those
And,
loopholes, right?
right.
So we need to find some loopholes
Right.
and make them work to our advantage, because that
So
seems to be the way. In
that's my suggestion for her.
Yeah.
Is for her attorneys, because there are organizations that have private foundations and they give who they want to.
Right.
And they're under
Right.
the IRS.
Okay.
Now, again, I don't know her structure, but from what I just briefly looked at online, I believe her organization, because this is general partnership and things like that. So I think that could be a route.
That's so interesting. Well, if it is
Or,
in fact going to be that simple to restructure, then I'm sure she's got some very interested attorneys in her
I hope
purview that are
so.
going to help her get there. Yes, and unfortunately, one of the partners stepped down. Yes, she said it had nothing to do with the lawsuit, but it seems like they're going through a really rough patch. We'll all be keeping an eye on that one, okay?
And
Because it
praying for
matters.
them.
This case is way bigger than many would care to admit. So we'll be watching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so back to your scholarship that you mentioned before. How can designers apply for that scholarship?
The designer portion isn't available yet. Right
Oh,
now,
okay.
it's just the stylist,
Okay.
which this year, working on the career day, funds raised from the career day will go towards the stylist scholarship. And it is
Okay.
stylist scholarship to go to FIT. The modeling scholarship, those are the two that we've done so far. The modeling scholarship, Andrea Kinch Reynolds with Models in the Making, has been phenomenal to sponsor that. And I believe, have to confirm, but I think she's going to sponsor another one this year too.
Okay, so for those stylists though that are looking to apply, and those models, how do they have to wait till career day to do that, or will
Yes.
there be an opportunity?
They
Okay.
can go to the website at black-world.org and register.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's pivot just a little bit and have you share some of your nuggets, some insights with our listeners here. What has been the best business advice you've received so far or along your journey? And would you give that same advice to a startup in this economic climate, and considering the season we're all in with all of the shifts everyone has taken in business, the last 5 years?
I would say two things. The best business advice that I received came from my attorney.
Ooh, okay. Ooh.
And that was specific to how we strategized to set up the organization. That is what helped us get the 501c3 on the first try. So the first thing I would say to anybody is seek out legal counsel.
Yes.
That, even seek out accounting counsel.
Oh, definitely.
Aside from that, the second thing I would say is start small. We as visionaries, we see the end.
Yeah.
When we have an idea, we see it in its end stage. And we take off and start running towards that end, oftentimes without considering the steps that need to be taken to get to that end. Don't rush and plan.
I agree. There's a great saying by Arthur Ashe that I tend to quote every now and again, but because I so believe it's not just in business. You can use it with any endeavor, anything that you do. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can do. So simple. You start where you are. You can't compare your journey to somebody else who started 5 years before you. But you could start where you are, use what you have, and then start taking those steps toward that, that goal. So I think that's great advice to start small but keep that big vision in mind, right? Because you have to have a target if you're gonna hit it.
That's right. That's Steve Harvey. You mentioned it earlier, because I heard him talking about how his father told him the piece of paper that he had given to the teacher that laughed at him and ridiculed him about being on television.
Ooh.
He told him to take that piece of paper, read it every night before he went to bed, and read every morning when he got up. So that big, and as he says, and now I'm all of these different shows.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes. You can't believe what other people think about you, right? If we did that, we would do nothing. We would just stay small and suffer. For sure. Okay, so next question I have for you is, I can't wait to hear, what has been the most fulfilling part of your journey so far?
Oh, wow. You know what? There've been a couple of milestones. Just launching was, okay, I did it. Yet aside from that, or in addition to that, I should say, the most fulfilling part is when I get the comments from people, and that pushes me. That's what keeps me going.
Yes.
Perfect example. I was watching the Barbie documentary, and within that documentary, they talked about diversity and inclusion and searching for people of color to be a part of the organization and having been successful. Person doing Barbie, the most recently did Barbie, ain't chocolate. So being able to hear, because opportunities will come like that.
Yeah.
Hearing that opportunity, sending out a message to my database, not expecting anything back. And I had several responses of thank you. There was one response where the person said, I've always wanted to design from the top.
Wow.
Those are the most fulfilling pieces that make me say, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
There are days when I don't want to keep going.
If you don't have those days, you're not really an entrepreneur. Right? But
no,
oh my goodness.
So whenever I hear people say, thank you, I've always wanted to design today. Thank you. Like I had some posts on YouTube one night. I said something about a support group, and they said, you are our support group. That's it for me.
So it sounds like service, being of service to others, is very meaningful. And isn't that the thing, though? Isn't that the thing that makes it all worth it? So I love that. I love your answer.
You can't pay for that.
You can't pay for that. That's fulfillment.
Empowering people to go to the next level. That's a wealth deposit in somebody that cannot be stolen. You can't beat that.
Yeah. Agreed. So what is next for Black Fashion World Foundation? You mentioned earlier you have something coming up that you can't really get all the way into, but is there something else that you want to share or something you're excited about going forward?
Yeah. Well, the focusing on Career Day is the main focus for me right now. I'm looking for a meaningful master. Stay tuned for that. Those are the two things. The other thing I won't talk about right now.
No, I won't press you for that.
Send the prayers up for me to get that done. It's a huge project that I've been working on for some years. So I'm at stages now of getting this piece of it. And once I get that piece of it, then I'll be ready to say, okay, let's roll.
That's exciting.
But it will be something for everyone.
Oof. I'm excited. I can't wait to see. Okay,
Pray for me,
fantastic.
girl. Pray for me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, okay.
Oh! No, I can't tell that either.
No? I just held my breath. I thought you were going to share something else. Okay, okay.
No, I can't. I will say it like this. I shared kind of sort of with one person I was doing. I was questioning to get feedback on it. And the person said, "You're the people's. You're for the people."
Mm.
So it is something that is in legal counsel right now. That's being worked on.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So hopefully by the fall I'll be able to share that because it's something that people need.
Okay. Okay. And for those who don't yet know how to connect, where's the best place to go to connect with you or the organization?
Yeah. So all of our handles are at B as in boy, F as in Frank, W as in Way Foundation. The website is blackfashionworld.org, O-R-G. Mm-hmm. Or you can email me at Carla, that's C-A-R-L-A, at blackfashionworld.org.
Okay.
And anything I don't know, I will work on finding the person who has the answer.
All right. All right. So, is there anything that I have not asked you that you were hoping to be able to share?
I don't think so. I would just say, don't give up. Whatever it is, whatever is in your heart, time is the test, and that fire. If it's something that has been a dream that's been in your heart for many years, don't give up. It is a way. In the multitude of counsels, there's safety. Seek counsel. Look, email me. I don't mind having a conversation with you to help you strategize and figure out what that is, the way forward, who to contact, what plan, putting together, develop a plan for you to help you to do it. I will tell people, I am not the fashion guru. I came into this because I didn't get to come into it. But my strength with my organization, my planning skills, and being able to put things together, put organizations together, and connect you with people that you need to go forward, to help you see a light document. Oh, there was one thing. I'll come back to it in a second. I'll say it now. Like I was working on COVID memoir. It started out it's just about the mask. We named Patricia Rossiter, I hope I'm saying her name correctly, as the cover model for the book. But through the event with them, the awards ceremony, I realized I needed to go deeper into our experiences. So the COVID memoir is a book about our 4 years of experiences during COVID. Is leaving our mark of time so that when the youth come forward, they can look back and they have this coffee table book with her picture on it to understand what we experienced during that time. Going back to the other question, with the book, I had written so much that I realized I got to step away from this because I'm looking at this book and I'm not going to see the errors. So I had to help them improve what I was doing. So I said all that to just say to you, going back to what I was saying, sometimes when you're trying to plan something and it might not have worked out, haven't figured out the way forward, you can't see it because you looked at it from the same vantage point and you need another set of eyes to look at it from a different vantage point to help you out. Yes. Feel free to reach out for me. I don't mind being that vantage point. I might not be the person to put the pieces together. I guarantee you I can help you get a plan for figuring out who it is.
All right. All right. Well, y'all heard that. You are so open and willing to help others. I mean, that's something that appealed to me when I think we first connected probably, was it during COVID? Was it around 2021, maybe 2020, 2021, something like that?
These 4 years gone by like
and you have not wavered one bit. You still have that same openness about you and willingness to share and help our community. And I think that is so precious and special. So thank you for all you're doing. I know you've got more to come, but just know, oh my goodness, you are like a ray of sunshine for those that really need you, especially in that neck of the woods, right? In Harlem, right? In New York, right? In our country, right? Because they're going to be people listening from this country and others. You might be getting a lot more than you bargained for. Telling everybody to reach out, but my point is, your heart is so dear. So thank you for what you do, because I greatly respect you for just going the extra mile all the time, and stretching. I see the stretch, and I know sometimes it's required, but not everybody does it. So I pray your strength and guidance going forward, because it seems like you have more to do.
I've got lots to do. And it's not about me. It's not about. So thank you. Thank you for this conversation. And thank you, Charmaine, for being you and being willing to be transparent and reveal the truths that people need to know so they can fulfill their truth. So glad to be okay.
Well, my pleasure. Just like you, I just love. I love the purpose that we are feeding into. So, yes, thank you for mentioning. So, I always get a little verklempt when we start talking about me, so I'm going to shift off of me and back to you. So, our last question for today is a little deep, but I know you got this. So it is, when you come to the very end of your days and you have lived and you have loved, you have shared all that you hoped you could, what do you hope to leave behind? What do you hope your legacy will be?
Yeah. And that question doesn't bother me.
Okay, good. Because some people are like, oh my gosh, you asked me
this. No, it doesn't bother me, because I've already planned my funeral and all of that stuff.
Ooh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. What? I've already in my will put specific instructions of what to do. Wow. First of all, you didn't have no funeral.
Wow.
I want to leave behind joy. I don't have, listen, you don't need to be in no funeral crying over me. I'm gone. I'm gonna be with the Lord. I'm gonna be happy.
You sound like my mom. She says that.
Have a graveside service. Go to a banquet hall. Throw up some pictures of me. Have a party. So I want to leave joy. I want to leave a legacy of empowerment and not lack of net. I want to leave a legacy of empowerment. Being able to say, I did what I could to help these people fulfill their dream. Okay. That's it for me.
Okay, well, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah, and that too. So thank you, Carla, for spending this special time with me and for sharing all that you have. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to just give the listeners, give the audience a little bit, maybe something they didn't know about. I don't know if everyone knows yet about your organization, and if they don't, they should. So thank you for taking the time to share. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. Sending you love.
You have a big, juicy vision for your business, and not everybody around you gets it or even cares, right? But that's okay, because that vision was given to you, not to them. I know at times in the past it has felt like you were on an island by yourself, and you're not alone, but it doesn't have to stay that way. I have opened the doors to our emerging designer community. Go to cmdesignagency.mn.co so you can connect and vibe with like-minded individuals who are also on a mission to grow and scale their fashion brand. I'll see you on the inside. Thank you for tuning in to the Life by Design show. We welcome your feedback, so if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, leave a review, or share it with your friends. And if there's someone you think I should consider bringing in for a combo, send me a DM on social. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the other side.